ready? Hi guys, welcome back to our channel.
I'm Jacqy.
And I'm Jayson.
And we're back with another video.
First of all, thank you so much for the support you guys have shown us.
Okay.
We weren't expecting the views that we've gotten so far.
Okay.
Actually,
We've
been away for a while, I think for over a year now.
Over a year, yeah.
And then when we posted our first video and then we
Yeah.
got your responses and your views, we were really happy, and we want now to do more videos like
Yes,
this.
we do.
Yeah, so for today's video, as per the title, we had asked some questions
On Instagram.
on Instagram.
On my Instagram.
Not even questions. We asked you guys to ask us questions, right?
Yeah, about how our first week of marriage has been.
Yeah.
And let me say, oh God, I feel loved.
How do you feel?
Loved. Like, this, as in, someone expect. Like,
what weren't you
marriage
expecting?
is beautiful so far.
It's
So far, I
beautiful.
love it.
It is.
Especially if you're with your best friend.
Exactly.
And with someone who you really know.
Oh. Yeah, so we have some questions that you had asked us. And also we have some questions that we thought maybe we thought we could answer for you.
Yeah.
So we'll start off with the questions that were asked on Instagram.
Yes. And also add on our experience of how it has been so far.
Yeah.
And if it's something we can advise you to do, so many people say marriage is a scam, right? We don't have that much of an experience, but so far, so good.
Actually, I just want to mention, I had this conversation with a friend of mine, Jana too, at work. Akinani, marriage is a scam. If you're watching this, marriage is not a scam. Okay? It's how you make it be. I think if you make it be a scam, then it's going to be a scam.
If you believe it's a scam, it's going to be a scam.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you mind reading the questions?
How did you deal with the fatigue, since it seems like you went home immediately and enrolled at earlier? Yeah, that's true.
Not true. You did go home immediately.
I did, like after 2 days.
Yes, after 2 days. It's after 2 days.
Our honeymoon was for 2 days, and we had at earlier, so it wasn't really a honeymoon. We are going to go for another one. So
actually, me will force at earlier and assist.
Imagine me, I was like, and nilikuwa nataka vile ataliende home, kai kwetu for a few days and then
enjoy the honeymoon. But
for him, he wanted us to go right in. After tumesha get married, ni hivyo. Our family is the 3 of us, not just the 2 of us like other people do.
But how can you answer this question?
So how did I deal with the fatigue, since it seems I went home immediately and enrolled at earlier? Well, I feel like before we got married, we had this discussion. Like, we knew after getting married on Saturday, Atalia is starting school on Monday, because other schools had already opened like a week before, and Atalia had not yet enrolled. So we already knew, like, we already knew.
Okay, we knew. Okay, maybe we might do another video explaining what the sequence behind her, joining school after like 2 days after we got married.
But that's because we got married on 28th and the schools had already opened on like 23rd.
Yeah.
So you see, there's no way we would have gotten married, then we start thinking about taking a child and maybe in March.
Yeah.
Although looking back, like at her age, we don't really think that I don't feel like we rushed or it was too late, because it's playgroup anyway.
And we had also talked about it, so I think for us it was a bit easier to cope, and most of the things were already done in terms of looking for a school, paying for the admission. It was just a matter of taking her to school.
So the answer is no, I did not have any fatigue. The transition was okay, and also that whole week he was at home, so he really helped me with the transition. So I cannot say I was fatigued. So the next question.
So someone here asked us, not even a question, but said, hukutuita harusi, but congratulations. So first of all, sorry if you aren't invited for the wedding. You'll be invited on the next wedding. We're planning another wedding.
Are we?
Okay, she doesn't know. I'll tell her later, but you're planning another wedding. Yeah, but anyway, it was a very small and fast
wedding.
Yeah. We didn't get the chance.
We'll do a video of how the process of the wedding and how long it took, and also how God came through for us.
The plan was to have a wedding with only 4 people.
Yeah, and we actually, even when it became
not even 4, 5.
5, yeah. The 4 of us, our best couple.
Yeah.
And Atalia, who was the flower girl, that was how the wedding was supposed to be, because even Atalia was supposed to be baptized on that same day. Yeah, and I guess you're going to see the trailer of the wedding when we post the video.
Yeah, so sorry. And
Yeah.
thank you so much for the congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yeah. The next question, do you miss this was questions to me. Do you miss your parents' home or some things there, especially now that you are in a new place?
Okay, go. I feel I feel for this question, I have the answer to this question, but it's better if Jacqy just gives you the answer.
Of course I do. Gosh, by the time you're filming this, I had gone home yesterday. Actually, this is the second time I've gone home, because the first time sikuwa na nguo, nilikuwa nimeacha nguo zangu zote home, so nikaziendea. That was the first time. Nilipata my dad atakwenda job. Nilipata amenigojea sitting. Mamangu naye alikuwa anapika breakfast. Mamangu alinipikia breakfast. Chai, chapo, mayai. Babangu ndiye akanipikia pork. He knows how much I love pork. Akanipikia pork hiyo siku. Na kama nilibeba. Nilidropiwa hadi hapa kwa gate.
Ilikuwa tamu baby. Alileta hapa. It was really nice.
So yes, I do miss my parents' home. Like at jana, I had to enter into my bed nilale. Like all the things I used to take for granted.
Yeah.
Because we're not where I was. Like I had to really leave a lot of things because of how much I love this man. So
are you planning to go back home again?
We are planning.
You?
Me? No, I'm thinking nitakaa kidogo hadi niwamiss.
Okay, mmesikia. The other question is, how does it feel to be married to the love of your life? Kutoenda kwenyu. I'm happy for your love. How does it feel being married to the love of your life? It feels amazing.
It feels amazing.
There's nothing as good as getting married to your best friend. Like, it's a different feeling. Like, you know this person, you've been together for so long. So even hata mkiishi pamoja, it doesn't become anything new. It's like mtu mshazoeana na yeye. So most of the things that it's aina like a change in terms of, you're not used to this because you've known this person for a very long time. So the transition becomes a bit easy in terms of there's not much that has changed. Yeah.
The only difference is that we're sleeping on the same bed.
And kila siku namuona like
and when he goes to work, I'm waiting for him to come home. Like it's not like when alikuwa anatoka job ananipigia na maybe umeenda home. Says he's coming home to me, and that's the best thing ever. Like I just enjoy it. Like last week, but then I'm sick, so it was really hard for me to like know that my husband is coming home. I haven't done anything, and he's so understanding in a way that and he told me it's okay, Jacqy, you're sick, and there's nothing we can do about it. So I'm here to support you, and even when I never get sick, I know you'll also support me. So it's been a good transition. Like it has not been nadhani at marriage we can get sasa roles zina change. Say because he's the man, he wants to now dominate the whole place, and now once sasa mimi nikuwe mimi ndio niko chini yake and all that. So far our marriage has been helping each other. He has not really shown me that sasa I'm the man nini. He has shown me that he can really help me. Yes, he's the head of the home. I have to respect that. But also he has given me the chance to be able to be myself. I have not changed who I am, because that was one of the things I thought that maybe I should change because of the things I was taught. I need to change but aliniambia I should not change who I am. I should just continue to be who I am. And that's what most people actually do. You get into marriage, become someone else. Then you get tired about becoming that someone, you become someone different later. Yes. And then you see that this person has actually changed. Then I've changed. So I feel it's better being yourself from the start, so that this other person can actually know that even though and this is how I'm going to accept her when when you go in the marriage. Because to be honest, like this goes to the first week of marriage. How was it for us? It was not a bed of roses. Like I get to be honeymoon phase. First, it started with Atana going to school. That is already tushaingia hapo. You have no other answer. What time you kusema tiacha kwanza tupendane kidogo ti. And then you got kids will come after. Then wakagonjeka. Imagine wakagonjeka the same week. So he had now to be the helper of the house. He needs to be the one who's cooking. As in it was a really hard time for me. Waking up early in the morning, I prepare him and Natalia for I make breakfast. He doesn't eat breakfast in the morning, so it's just Natalia. Like they had this plan of how I wanted to be as a wife. So you can imagine umeingia marriage tu hivi ushaanza kugonjeka, there's nothing you can do. So it was hard for me, but so far so good. Right now I feel so much better. And yeah, I cannot wait for the other weeks to come and months and years, because I know it's going to be an easy road for us.
But the takeaway from this is just make sure when getting married, don't rush into it. Make sure even if you know this person well enough in terms of because we've known each other for a very long time before we actually got married. So that would be the key takeaway. Marry your best friend, and then things will go smoothly.
Yeah.
So on to the next question.
So I've been asked, how did I handle Atalia going to school shortly after we got married, and the unpacking, the arranging, settling, etc. It wasn't hard because first of all he had already moved into this place that we're living right now, so it was not hard for us to settle. We already, and the house is not big as you have seen in the previous video. So it has not been hard arranging and all. We did it together, but even when the clothes came, we arranged them together. So it has been easy for us. Let me say that, right?
Yeah. So I think we're done with some of the questions we asked. Yes. Most of them are repeating themselves. So we'll go straight into maybe some of the questions we think maybe might be of interest to you in terms of now what changes after marriage.
Yeah.
So the first point we have here is our money management. I think that's something maybe has changed.
Yeah.
Right now living together. Reason being, when we're living differently or separately, if I get money, of course I will put part of it, maybe say, we need to go out somewhere, maybe go eat somewhere, but then part of it maybe I will like put it somewhere maybe for myself and say maybe I want to buy something. But then now when you live together, the salary or the money that you put aside realize now from this money you have to remove rent. Rent was one thing that both of us weren't paying because she was living at their place, I was living at home. So rent now becomes...
So he moved out like 3 months before we got married.
Yeah. So then now rent became something, an additional expense that I had to pay for.
Yeah.
And then now, of course, if you're living outside, now you're not living home, you need to buy food. And then we have Natalia here. You also need to consider
her fees. And also eating, like...
Yes.
Unajua saizi alikuwa na prepare, alikuwa na buy food. Kama kitu moja tulirealize. Mimi nilirealize. You used to spend like almost 50 per day because ananunua nyanya za 10, vitunguu za 10. Na ni hivyo unatumia mafuta tushabai.
Watoto wakiongezeka kwa
nini? Akanunue githeri ya 30 bob ama nini? Ama mbosho za 30. Unaona 50 bob ishaisha hivyo. Na atashiba ndio atakuja pike na rice. Kwa sasa kwa peke yake mimi nikasema tuna spend like tukienda saa labda 100 per day. So nikamwambia 100, tufanye 100 times 30, tuseme our weekly shopping budget is 3,000. Wow. So it worked the first 2 days.
Yeah, it did.
Because already alikuwa na vitunguu pale na nyanya. Hata vitunguu na nyanya ziishe. Mimi nataka kupika vitunguu na nyanya peke yake. I need to add hoho, nataka to add carrot, nataka kuongeza waru. So napata in a day I spend close to 200. And then sikuwa nimecalculate, this is not just dinner. There's breakfast to be taken the next morning. Natalia needs milk. She needs bread, she needs eggs. Like those things I hadn't put into consideration. Saizi mkate ni 65, si ndio? Maziwa ni 65. Like ukiangalia hizi vitu zote ukishafanya calculations.
It becomes more than actually what you
had true. And like then nika realize pia hiyo githeri yake ya 30 bob hautuwezi kula sapa na bado tu pack nimpakie kesho asubuhi kwenda kukula lunch. So lazima ununue hiyo 50 bob kikombe kubwa.
So now pesa inaongezeka
sasa. So that is one of the things, that is the reality that has really hit us.
You also need to save as well.
Yes. So for us, something that has worked for us so far is the fact that the money that we got for our wedding, we were able to put aside for Atalia's fees. So at least easy from the money that Jay is earning, at least up of fees that weki, at least sasa tunasema tunaweza save kidogo yetu, maybe to buy something for the house and something, because there's so much that we want to buy, but we are like we need to like put a target amount. Hii mwezi tunasema hii mwezi tunasavia hii, and then we get it. We didn't want to at sasa pesa yote yenye tumepata kwa nini, and that is one thing that I think most people do. Unapata pesa yenye unapata kwa harusi, you rush to buy things,
kila kitu na sasa
vitu za nyumba and all, but for us we sat tuliangalia nyuma tukafikiria, if we rush to buy kale ka fridge kadogo let go and doing something, and then we find that hiyo fridge itakuwa ndogo, itafika mahali tutake kununua fridge, or maybe tununue kiti, like hizo vitu zilitufanya tufikirie let's just tukae na tu pesa kidogo kidogo tu tukae
just build pole pole
and
get everything that you want.
Yes.
So the second point was our relationships have changed in terms of even with our friends. So maybe you can.
My friends, relationships have really.
In terms of now, if okay, for her I think it's a bit different, because for me, let me talk for myself. I'm quite an introvert, I might say. In terms of I don't go out, I don't go out with friends. I prefer staying at home, come and watch movie. That's the type of person I am. For her as well, after akwangi mtu kwenda out sana, but she loves going out. But she loves going out. So I feel like even now, the relationships you have with our friends, in terms of if a friend would want you to go out with them,
there's a lot to consider.
There's a lot to consider.
Now that I have a family, there's a lot to consider. But with what we've talked about, I think we're going to be going more out more. So
What about the other?
But relationships have not changed.
I was talking about now. Are you getting some men maybe wanakuangalia?
So far bad.
But that's expected. I've heard it's expected. But once you get married, that's when now people start actually showing some interest. And then the other point was I think we've already talked about this, was our social life. People like your old friends, you don't spend as much time as you used to with the friends that you have.
Well, the next fourth point is our first impression on people. Others see us more mature. So kama saizi kuna mtu amenitext saizi akanambia, hey Jacqy, I need advice from you. So mtu akikuangalia hivi ati people nowadays people of our age, they don't really want to commit fully, because they're like they'll get married and then maybe something happens. Like people don't really trust marriage. And there's one thing nilifunzwa before I got married. There are some women who talked to me and they told me marriage is not something to play with. It's a commitment. It's a life-lasting decision. Like it's not something that you enter kama nini kitu ya kujaribu ati alafu isipo nini unachana nayo. It should be something it is a long-lasting commitment that kwanza ukisha make at the altar, you already have God there. God umeshamweka yeye ndio ako hapo kwenye marriage yenu. So there's no way you can enter marriage with thinking, what if it doesn't work? Enter knowing this will work because I'm going to make it work. And that is what I have really held on to. Like I have held, nikasema by the way, mimi ndio nilivalisha huyu msee pete. And he's my husband. Like I'm going to fight for this marriage. I'm going to fight for him. Whatever comes my way, or whatever comes our way, we're going to fight it out together. So our first impression of people, others see us as more mature. So we might find ourselves that was some kuja kutuuliza advice, and maybe seeing something that we don't, and maybe seeing another level of maturity in this year.
Like wondering how do you see that? So and the other point,
but that's a good thing.
It's a good point. The other thing was our hopes, goals, and dreams are now aligned. Before mtu anakuwa like you have that one thing you want to do
for yourself.
But then now
that we have to think about both of us.
Both of us. Even now, if I have something for myself, of course we have to discuss about it first, because this also comes down to the issue on finances. Because you can't just plan to do something without actually involving my wife. I wanted to do something without involving. Because I feel that's in terms of communication. If you don't communicate, then it's going to be an issue in the marriage. So if you want to do something, maybe you're planning to buy something, a piece of land somewhere, you want to buy something. I don't know, I think it was in church or something. You have to talk about, it was during the counseling that we had.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you cannot go and start buying things at as a surprise and then kwanza mimi nilimwambia bidhaa asienda kununua kitu ati akuja surprise mtu kubwa kwanza sijui gari sijui land ati babe I have a surprise for you or go unajenga nyumba na umeshamaliza yote
na hapo anajua ati anything it shouldn't be
yeah,
like that.
it can bring issues.
Yeah. So I think now our hopes, our dreams are now aligned into one.
Yes.
In terms of now, if we have something, we need to bring it on the table and then discuss about it.
Yes.
And then I think for this other point, I think you talked about it a bit, our sense of commitment. So before marriage, it was work in progress. Now there's commitment, knowing that we'll spend the rest of our lives
with that
other person, which is something we need to work on.
Yeah.
You don't expect things to work on without working, on it. Then the other point is we work harder.
Our successes are shared.
Yeah.
Anytime like either of us gets a promotion or raise, your spouse will also benefit from a success and vice versa. So if equal competitions,
yeah.
Hey, sumeandika hizo points bezi hata niwaambie tu kweli. Huyu kati ya sisi wawili ndio msomi. Hizo points zote ni ameandika.
Hata hapa ameziona before this video, but anyway.
Yeah.
Then the last point, some habits change. Some of the things I used to do before, I don't have time to do them anymore.
So you've been at this for 2 weeks. So what are those habits?
Let me tell you some of the habits. Let me say it live on camera. Before we got married, and she also knows this. I used to. Okay, I love watching esports tournaments. If you don't know what esports tournaments is like, tournaments online for mobile games and stuff like that.
But in the previous video, nilipata ukiwatch.
Now,
you watch?
Yeah, you watched that. Alinipata red-handed watching that video.
But it's not a bad thing.
But then there was a day that tournament was running for 3 days. So the first day, I told her that this tournament is supposed to start from around 5 to around 8. And she said, it's okay. So she thought the tournament was only going for 1 day. Then the next day, at the same time, because it was going for 3 days, the same time, okay, the next day, I think nilianza kuwatch earlier.
Tulianza kuwatch hapo saa 8. Mimi nashangaa bezi msee. Ameshinda kutoka 2 nikafika 5 nikaanza kuprepare kupika bado hadi usiku na watu so nikamwona bezi kitu nikasitisha. No, that was one of the fights we had because I was like mimi hata bezi upatia habit because hata mimi niliingia marriage nikijua time nitakuwa nafika na mimi because I'm addicted to the phone. I need to put the phone down and give him attention. Then that particular day nimeanza kupika na mwanzo nikupe food hapana. Atale tushampe chakula shalala and he's still there watching that tournament and then I was like do something they have to change like this thing una prefer kitu hapo niliko and I'm just here I've even showered I've done everything supposed to go to bed you're still watching.
Yeah, so I think now I sat down and I thought what I was doing was not right, so there's some things I need to actually change. I was so used to it, but then I need to change it to make this marriage work.
But I also feel like it depends because unafaa communicate before like you hauko communicate
the first time
communicate ukaniambia by the I'm going to be watching because sasa after that ndio aliniambia by the kuna ball nataka kuwatch mimi sawa wewe watch at least hizo I was already prepared na kuwekea.
Yeah, so those were some of the questions and some of the things maybe we thought were important to share. Yeah, maybe if you have anything else to add. It has been a long video,
so the
but I hope you've
the first
enjoyed
week
it.
of marriage has been good for us. It has been a very nice transition. It was not hard, except now the us getting sick and all.
Yeah.
But so far it's so good, and maybe we're going to do an update now after maybe 3 months of marriage or maybe 1 year.
Yeah.
So that at least maybe we'll have something we have learned from it. And we hope you've enjoyed this video, even if it was a sit down. We hope if there are some things, if there's some things you feel like we should improve on our videos, like you can just tell us, comment. You can also DM us on Instagram. You can follow me as Jacqy.nganga and for him Jayson.kamoyo. And for her she's called Atalia.k.
Say Atalia Kamoyo.
Kamoyo.
I don't know why she's moody today. Like you've not seen her smiling the whole video. I think she's hungry. We were supposed to go out and eat.
But we decided let's do the video first and then we'll go.
Yeah, so hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too long for you guys.
Yeah, please subscribe if you haven't.
It's here. Is it here?
It's here. Or it's that one.
It's here.
It's here, Talia.
Say subscribe.
Tell them to subscribe.
Yes.
So
Good.
until the next video, bye.
Bye.
You melt the ice.